That is something that's not really talked about in the hobby, but it is the reality of it. There are no corn snakes. What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? It's Sean here with SNS Serpentarium. I'm chilling with my Cape house snake right now, and today we're going to talk about, are corn snakes truly available? So this topic is going to actually really shock you, so let's just get straight into it. So when we talk about corn snakes, guys, people often think that they're the most commonly available pet on the market, and it's easy to see why people think that. You go into any shop around the UK, or probably even in the States as well, any expo, there will be corn snakes available. You cannot miss corn snakes. You ask majority of keepers online, probably most of them have kept corn snakes at some point in their snake keeping hobby. So it's really easy to think that corn snakes are actually really available when the fact is they're not. So let's talk about the history of the corn before I actually reveal to you why corns are not actually available. So corn snakes were brought from North America in massive numbers back in 70s, 80s, I believe. Don't quote me on that though. They were brought in massive numbers. The colour traits as well, they were all brought in. And then we started breeding them in heavily then in captivity through the 90s and the noughties. But what's happened somewhere along the way is all these true locality corn snakes, they've all been interbred with other localities of corn snakes for one thing, but that isn't the reason why corn snakes are not available. The reason why corn snakes aren't available is because these corn snakes that you see in shops and online and in expos and stuff like that, they're not corn snakes. They're hybrids. All corn snakes today, more or less, like 99% of them, have been mixed with Cali Kings, they've been mixed with milk snakes, they've been mixed with all sorts of other North American colubrids. So the true corn snakes are actually not available anymore. And some people might think, oh, you're talking a load of rubbish, but I'm really not. If you get a wild caught normal phase corn snake and you compare that to what a normal phase corn snake looks today in the hobby, it's miles apart. It's not the same animal. It's just not. Anyone with eyes can tell you that, and you don't have to just take my word for it, you can look it up. Corn snakes that we have today in the shops, in people's collections, in expos, they're not corn snakes, guys. They're hybrids. You don't have to take my word for it either. Next time your corn snake sheds out, keep the shed and actually scale count it. Compare it to the data online, and you'll quickly realise that that isn't a corn snake. Okay? Because there is no such thing really as a corn snake anymore in the hobby. Especially if you've got a morph, there's no chance it's a proper corn snake. So the reality of it is, guys, is people always go on about how available corn snakes actually are, when in reality is, I'd be amazed if anyone watching this video has a real corn snake. Like a real corn snake. And it's sad really, because if something were to happen in the wild, corn snakes would ultimately go extinct because we've not kept the bloodlines pure. And you see it a lot with other snakes as well, but in other snakes it seems to be talked about more. Like with African house snakes, you've got the olive house snakes, when the reality of it is they're always called nowadays hobby olives because they're known to be crossed. With the Cape house snakes, you've got hypo green, and they are not true Cape house snakes. They've been mixed with another morph. Don't quote me on what morph, more locality even that they've been crossed with to get that morph, but they're not Cape house snakes anymore. But with corn snakes, the problem is a lot more widespread. The gene pool was no need to be messed with at all because of the numbers of corns we brought in. We've just sort of done it, like people have done it to see what sort of, you know, Cali King corn or whatever corn snake mix they could make. They've sold them. The breeders, someone have bought that then and they've bred it back to a normal corn snake, and then they've been sold as regular corn snakes, and they've been bred then, you know, again back another generation, to the point where you can't tell a difference anymore really, unless you really know what you're looking for. And then that's how it's happened, and overnight we've missed the train really, and there are no corn snakes anymore. So it's something quite sad. It's something that's not really talked about in the hobby, but it is the reality of it. There are no corn snakes. Peace out, guys.